This illustration deals with the rating and use of switches in accordance with NEC 404.14. The purpose of change was to accept a revision, and a revision has been added and made to clarify that switches shall be listed and used within their ratings. Alternating current general use snap switches are generally only available in this form, and they possess internal construction characteristics that inspection authorities cannot generally evaluate. This revision has added coverage of acceptable use of AC general use snap switches that have become customary but is yet not included in the listing governing such uses. This new item or these new items included in the list are three. Coverage of electrical lighting loads, coverage of electronic ballast, self-ballast lamps, compact fluorescent lamps, and LSD lamps with their associated drivers. This was the main purpose of this revision, was to include these items. So first of all, let's look at the general use snap switch, or switches, and the left-hand corner of the illustration. And notice general use snap switches are included in 404.14. And next, let's right across from it, we have a dimmer switch, and that's 404.14E as in Ed. Now, at the very top, we have an electronic control device, 404.2C as in car. Now, notice that's what this revision is all about, is to make sure these items are included in the NEC 404.14 section. Now, let's next review the notes. And note 1 states switches of 404.14 A through E, these sections should be reviewed. They are limited to the control specified loads for cord and plug connected loads that we would see outlined in 404.14F. But again, the main section listing all this is 404.14 with its subparts. Now, number 2 is right next, and notice for continuity of equipment grounds and attachment in boxes, we would see NEC 250.148 that has the requirements listed there for such continuity. Now, number 3 to the left-hand side at the top of the illustration, switches will now be required to be listed and used within their ratings. Say that you had a general use switch and you supplied a motor, and it's an AC switch. Then, you would take 125% of the motor, and then it could not exceed 80% of the switch. If the general use AC switch was feeding lights, and it was a 20 amp, you could load it up to 20 amps, but you get all those rules in 404.14, and then you notice it pretty well applies equally to these other switches and control devices. With that, there's a specific listing on the switch from the manufacturer. And then notice, as we pointed out, LED lighting, lamps, ballasts, etc., are also included when you get to switching these items in Article 410 that deals more specifically with fluorescent lighting, incandescent lighting, LED lighting, and the types of lighting that's available now according to Article 410.